Yeah, so that was me during Game 4, as it was a stressful game. But we're not looking at that right now because the Leafs win 6-3 in Game 5 against the Buffalo Sabres, and now they're one win away from punching their ticket to the Eastern Conference Final, where they will take on the Carolina Hurricanes. So, let's just say it was a rocky start. Especially for Jakub Tobiš, as he let in 3 goals within 4 shots. Then, granted, Montreal also scored 2 goals. One of them 9 seconds between each other. We open the game. And Buffalo scores like that. They score, then the Habs score. Then Buffalo scores again, then Montreal scores. Literally, like I just said, 9 seconds between each other. Then Hennenes, I believe that's his name, gets his first of the playoffs, his first of the series, to make it 3-2 at the end of the first period. Now, I don't know what St. Louis was thinking in that time, as it did look like Jakub Tobiš's night was coming to an end. But then comes the second period, and much like Game 3, it's downhill from here. For Buffalo, that is. As Buffalo would then get penalized, and Nick Suzuki gets his first of the series in a power play goal. Caulfield gets his first even strength goal of the series. Evans scored off of what looked like it hit one of the players' stick, or one of the Buffalo players pushed it in. You couldn't really tell, but it was a squeaker, to say the least. Anderson scored to make it 3-3. Then Evans scored to make it 4-3. And then 10 seconds into their power play, Nick Suzuki makes it 5-3. We get a goalie change. Lindy Ruff takes out Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and brings back Alex Lyon. Here's the thing. I'm not going to say it was Luukkonen's fault. The Buffalo defense they're not playing good. Thompson gets a stupid penalty. Takes a stupid penalty, which I believe that's what caused the Suzuki goal. Then they start embellishing. After Lindy Ruff in Game 4 was complaining that Montreal was embellishing, they start embellishing because Slavkovsky's penalty was delayed. As the player that got hit, it took him 2 seconds, and then acted like he was in the WWE and sells a high stick. He should have bit his lip, made himself bleed to get the 4-minute double minor like Dahlin did in Game 4. But I find that funny, that he talks about Montreal going down easy, and then Buffalo does the same thing. So I guess Lindy Ruff, it's okay for your Sabres to do it, but not okay for Montreal. It didn't work. As they kept embellishing, the refs weren't calling anything. So back to the third period. Lyon comes in and already lets in two on ones. That's not Lyon's fault. That's the Buffalo. Then we get another penalty. Buffalo takes another penalty. Montreal goes on the power play, and Yvon Demidov gets his first of the playoffs. He gets his first of the playoffs, and it's a power play goal. Within 6 minutes, I think it was like 6:38, the Sabres pull their goalie. I get it, it's desperation, but that's way too early. It's way too early. But we've seen Patrick Wall do it with Colorado. We've seen Colorado do it on Wednesday. No joke. They did it on Wednesday, to which they won in overtime. They forced overtime, and then they won. So Buffalo was hoping the same thing. Did not work. As Jakub Dobich was laughing at the Buffalo Sabres, as there was a scrum towards the end of the game, kind of like what happened in Game 2. Was it Game 2 or was it Game 3? I think it was at either one of those two. I think it was Game 2. I believe it was Game 2 with Jack Guy and Carrick. But now we go back home. We go back to the Bell Center on Saturday night, where the Habs could actually close this series out. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't think. Montreal is 1-5 following a win. They're 5-0 following a loss for now. But again, Buffalo, they were 6-0 when they score three plus goals. They lost. But you never know. Anything can happen. There's still 2 more games left. I do think it's going to 7. Like the Tampa series. I'm ready for a Game 7. But I don't think my heart can. Because every time I watch Montreal, my heart rate goes up. And when you see the intro, that was literally me in Game 4 and in Game 7 against Tampa Bay. Literally me. Oh, even the beginning of Game 5. But rather than chugging down beers, it was chugging down Pepsis. But again, we have a chance to close out this series in 6. Just so we then face the Carolina Hurricanes, which I just found a stat about them. They are 5-0 against Canadian teams. They've eliminated 5 Canadian teams and have not been eliminated once by a Canadian team. I know the other stat where they're 0-13 in the conference final, but that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They're also 8-0. They have swept the Ottawa Senators and the Philadelphia Flyers. They have yet to lose a single game. If Montreal somehow makes it past, that could be the same fate. That could be the same fate. We could get swept by the Carolina Hurricanes. But I'm just taking it, like I said, in Game 3, take it game by game. But it seems like they're going back to Lion. It seems like Buffalo's going to go back to Alex Lyon, even though I do say it's not Luukkonen's fault. Luukkonen played pretty good. He made some mistakes. Dobich made a mistake. He went out of his crease a little further up, which caused the Hananis goal. But yeah, after that, Dobich was locked in. Because here's what could have happened. If St. Louis pulled Jakub Dobich out, put in Fowler, you wreck Dobich's confidence. Which, that's not a good thing. Yes, 3 goals off of 4 shots. Not good, but he made some good saves. Lindy Ruff doing this to Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, I'm sure that wrecked his confidence. And literally, they put in Lyon, and Lyon gets scored on. Caulfield has now scored 3 goals in the last 3 games. This is his 3rd goal in a row. He's scored in every game. The last 2 games, game 3 and 4, now game 5. He's starting to gain his confidence back. Demidov gets his first. He made a ton of good chances. Which I find funny about that, because yesterday, after the loss, after the Game 4 loss, there was fans saying to bench Demidov. He's made good plays. He's got a lot of assists. He finally gets a goal. I say don't set him. Well, as I said, we now go to Game 6 at the Bell Center with a chance to close this out and move on to the conference final, where we hope can get revenge for 2006. And I find that's another thing I find ironic. Round 1, revenge for 2021. We got a revenge on Kucherov, and we eliminate the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now Buffalo, who they swept us in 2004. Rematch of 2004. And we could get a revenge for 2004. And say we win. Then it's a rematch of the 2006 conference final. And I'm going to bring up one more thing. During the Vegas-Anaheim Game 6, TNT, the commentators for TNT, accidentally messed up. Because they had a graphic for the Eastern Conference Final, and they said that it would be Montreal versus Carolina, when that series is not over yet. Let's just say somebody at TNT is getting fired, because say Montreal wins. Then people were like, okay, I've seen that happen because I watched the Vegas game. Which people will start thinking the NHL is like the WWE, being rigged. It's not. It's the same people that have that conspiracy theory that Gary Bettman is anti-Canadian, which also not true because he came in as commissioner in 1993, and the first team that he handed the cup to was Montreal, a Canadian team. Yes, the irony is there where ever since Montreal's 24th, no Canadian team has won. Some of them got close. Montreal in 2021. Vancouver in 2011. The Oilers 06. 24 and 25. But again, that's not all conspiracy. But let me know what you guys think. Is this series over on Saturday? Or are we going to a Game 7? Hell, who's gonna bring out the torch for the Habs? We've seen them do it. Kirk Muller was one. Knuckles Nyland was another. Game 4 was Guy Carbonneau. I heard rumors of it being Carey Price. I know who it should be. His number's up in the rafters. He's a former Conn Smythe winner. 2-time Conn Smythe winner. And brought the Habs 2 Stanley Cups, one in 86, the other in 93. I am, of course, talking about Patrick Waugh. That's who I want to see. I want to see Patrick Waugh. Don't get me wrong, the crowd would go nuts if it's Carey. But I do want to see it be Patrick Waugh. I know people were saying it should be Subban. It would be funny if it was Pacioretty. But I don't think it's either one of them. It's either going to go to Price. It's either going to be Carey Price or Patrick Waugh. At least I want to see it be Patrick Waugh. Let me know in the comments. Do you think the series is over tomorrow? Do you think we're going to 7 on Monday? Do you think that it's going to be Carey Price that's bringing out the torch? Or do you think it's somebody else? But that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. This is Colin from the Habs Recap signing out. Have a good one.